Hi, welcome to Dark Politics Tarot. My name is Nick, and today we're going to do a reading on Little Donnie for the month of April. So I'll start with my new deck, the Carte de Visite. It's a Deviant Moon deck, and it's just photographs, and this will be our lead off of each week. This is like our oracle card, and it's just fun. They're creepy photos, which is perfect for the creepy regime. So let's see. Show me Donnie in week one. DJT in week one. Okay, we've gotten this one before, and it's burning down the asylum, and it's pointing at one person burning down the asylum, which I would think would be him burning down the US. And I'm gonna do each week separate so we don't get too bored. I'm gonna also use my what is this deck called? Oh, the Santa Muerte Tarot, which are some Mexican style images. I love this deck. It's very fun too. Hope you like it. Okay, so the first week we have the Knight of Cups. Then we have this one wants to jump. We have the Hierophant. They're very colorful, these cards. I love them. They're really pretty. They have skeletons on them. Then we have the Five of Cups, sadness, defeat, and one more card, the Page of Wands. So, okay, there's going to be some kind of messaging coming out this week. Let's go down to the table. Okay, so right away I started scrying into the Black Mirror, and what I saw was a cloudy night sky. You could still see the moon coming through, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like the Strait of Hormuz. Not that I know what that looks like exactly, but it's like dark water with clouds, and it's under a moon. So this could be very soon that this happens this week. Something ominous. It's a very ominous scene. But it's during the moonlight, another night strike that is probably going to be big this week. Okay, then we have looking at the cards, we have the asylum, and it's, someone burnt it down, and the card on the back says, it's about the Mildred Payne deck. This is the Deviant Moon's character that they use a lot in their decks. So this little girl who basically burns down the asylum, which is very fitting for Donald Trump, because he's burning down our own country and he's disrupting the global world. And he's very childlike. So relating that card to all of the four cards, we have the Knight of Cups coming in first. Knight of Cups is always Pete Hegseth to me, and because I feel this is a military strike, more military strikes, something big, bombing, and then relating to this card that, yeah, it's something very disruptive in the first week of April. Not that all the other strikes aren't disruptive and horrible. This one seems to be a bad strike. And it's made by very immature people, because we have flanking here the Knight of Cups, who really isn't a soldier at all. He's puts on a good show. So that's why I see this as Pete Hegseth. And on the other side, we have the Page of Wands. which normally I would say would be like a good card, but in this deck, it's like, again, a trickster messenger flanking these two middle cards. Now, we have the Hierophant here and the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is all about disappointments. But in this deck, it's quite different. There's a labyrinth here in the head. So this is a real quagmire that Trump has gotten himself into with the labyrinth. And I can also see this as a drain because it's water. And it's like Trump going down the drain, his mind getting even worse. His worst instincts are going on here. And this very immature, like president, the immature president, and the immature Secretary of Defense. And this is all in this very dark government, this regime with the Hierophant. Should show you the cards together. So here we have the Knight coming in to the government, and then they're doing all this shady stuff, but it causes a lot of loss for our country, but it also causes a lot of loss for the regime because this also can be seen as a drain. And this little guy here on the swing is that immature president. He comes up as a page, basically. So very interesting here. But I want to add a little more to this because, you know, I did see in the scrying, like it looks like an attack coming very soon. Could be this week. Let's just look a little more into an actual attack. I know this reading is about him, but we only care about him because we care about our country and what he's doing to it. Okay, so the burden here. And again, notice that big full moon. So tomorrow is the full moon actually in Libra. It could be something happening tomorrow. Then we have the independently wealthy card. Struggle with the oligarchs who maybe are saying don't do this, and then the manipulation coming. Okay, manipulation coming up, manipulating money, but they're having a real struggle to get people on board with them. I'm going to take a few of these little secret pocket oracles, also by Deviant Moon. This is the Mildred Payne. They're just symbols. This one wants to come out. Poison. Yeah, there's a lot of death, I think, unfortunately, and then the heart comes out. That could be Trump's heart. Does someone poison him? I'm sorry. My mind goes there. Maybe it went to you too. And then the lighthouse. There's something being shown about his heart and maybe the poison and the message. So I think this week is also going to be also symbolic of his mental decline and his health issue. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay, I'm scrying right now in the mirror and I see a dark hallway. It's a very liminal space, nobody around, but it's a long corridor. And as I'm looking at it, I see red flames going up and around it, almost like lava walls. So there could be something coming up in the second week regarding fires, eruptions, all kinds of eruptions, either physical. I also see now a bridge. Kind of looks like the George Washington Bridge in New York City. That's very scary. And I'm seeing sort of it pointing northeast. So that might have meaning. This is scary, this sort of very dark messaging coming out here. Okay, the second week for Trump with the carte de visite. This photo, a little demon out of the window crushing a boy who looks like he's trying to escape. That maybe he's pulling him back in. Who the little boy is, we don't know. Let's go back to the Santa Muerte Tarot. Show me Donald Trump's second week in April. Show me the second week in April. I'm getting a lot of very watery scenes. I now see a beach, waves coming up on a beach. And again, it's like a dark scene. It's not like a happy beach. What came out today is the Hanged Man. We got 3 of those yesterday. The Hanged Man in his second week. The first card, Major Arcana, the Hanged Man. The King of Cups, that would be Pete again, but now he's a king, drinking himself. You notice his heart on his chest, so it's pointing again to the heart. Yeah, that could be Trump needing some kind of medication for his heart. This is the 3 of Pentacles, trying to grow something on very tough soil, and you see the skeletons in that soil, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if this has something to do with Zorro Ranch. Somebody trying to grow a garden over the skeletons in the second week of April. Ooh, and then we have Justice. So yeah, maybe there's some kind of something coming out about Zorro Ranch. Ooh, wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, let's go down to the table. So because of the scrying with the card art, with the lava walls, and then this escape card coming through, someone's trying to escape in the second week. That could be Trump, that could be Pete. Someone's trying to get out of trouble with the devil there, and someone's being dragged back in, possibly. We have the Hanged Man, which is someone getting sacrificed, basically, in the second week. Could be Pete, the drinker. Then perhaps some justice for something to do with the Epstein files. That's what I was getting on that. Let's just take a look and see if this is Pete. I'm going to take out my little mini Rider Waite Smith deck. Show me, is this Pete? Show me the King of Cups. What does this represent? Next to the Hanged Man. Is this Pete Hegseth? Show me more about the King of Cups in this situation in the second week. Wow, we got another cup and it's came out reversed. So I think that's alerting me like, yes, this is about Pete Hegseth and he might get canned. But basically the Ace of Cups represents a new opportunity in some kind of relationship. But with all the dark imagery here, maybe something comes out about a relationship on him. And this I just knocked over the sun. Yeah, something's coming out for sure. Something's being exposed probably about Pete in the second week. Even though we're asking about Trump, it's all involved with him. Let's take out another. The Shield. Probably about that he's not a qualified military person. He was kicked out of, oh, I forget, some kind of, he was in the army, I think, and he was kicked out. So he should not be the head of the Pentagon, nor should he be making any kind of war strategies. Let's take out another. We get the frog. I just got an image when I see this frog laying like that. It's another sacrifice. I'm thinking about 7th grade biology where you had to dissect a frog. So there's going to be some kind of dissection into Pete, and it's going to, I think, a lot will be coming up probably from former veterans or former military people that like maybe higher up military about how unqualified he is. They all know he is. We all know he is. But something is illuminated, and it could be regarding his behavior with drinking or with relationships. So something more is coming out, something bigger, I feel, that maybe he will be canned because he got the hangman is here in the 2nd week. So somebody could be hung out to dry. It could also be Trump trying to escape the whole um, disaster of war. And I do think in the 1st week of April, something bad is going to happen with war. I should look into see because I just had Cuba just came through my mind. It could be Cuba or Iran, something big exploding, something again on water, very serious. And so Trump could be trying to escape this during the 2nd week of April. And then let's look into a little more into this exposure. So show me about the skeletons coming up. They're still trying to hide it, still trying to cover up the Epstein files with the little garden, trying to plant a garden. Like, nothing to see here. It's beautiful here. And then with the Justice card, which actually looks like a death card, it's a skeleton with a scythe. So, yeah, someone trying to escape from the Zorro Ranch files. And then there's going to be a lot of confusion around this. But also I see it as options, a lot of options in choice of what to look at. There's so much to look at there. Ooh, and then we have the betrayal. Does somebody betray Trump and the Zorro Ranch? What comes out in the Zorro Ranch? I get the celebration card reversed. I don't usually read reversals, but when I usually shuffle my decks upright. So when I see a reversal, I definitely take it into consideration. Um, let's look at the little deck. So we have choice. There's so much betrayal here is what I'm getting. Lots of betrayal. Let's take out one of these little cards. Oh, we got the heart again. Well, the heart in pain. So definitely Dumpy's having some heart trouble. We have the spider came out. Spiders. That could be something on the internet, maybe leaks. Somebody betrays his health issues. Somebody betrays him at the Zorro Ranch about what happened there. But the spider waits and waits in a web. And then we have the skull. Yeah, there's something coming out. Maybe dogs, the cadaver dogs or something come out with something on Zorro Ranch in the 2nd week of April. But all in all, I feel like Pete is going to be in a lot of trouble. He may get canned in the 2nd week. This is just the energy for today. We're seeing them try to get out of trouble here this week in the 2nd week. There is some kind of justice coming, though, and I think it pertains to New Mexico and the Zorro Ranch, that perhaps cadaver dogs could be picking up on something. The spider has waited a long time, and now some kind of evidence comes through. It could even be just heartbreaking with the heart here, that it's very heartbreaking what happened. Pete having troubles with a former relationship. They're questioning his ability. Everything's coming out on him, and they're dissecting him in the second week. Okay, let's go to the next week, the third week. Okay, the third week. What is the carte du visite say? Donald Trump's third week in April. DJT's third week in April. That's interesting. It's a man with a mask on, and it looks like he is hypnotizing someone into being a zombie. Could this be MAGA? What does it say on the back here? Training complete. Ready for assignment. Oh, that's scary. This is the back, what it looks like, eyes with the spiral. Ready for assignment. Are they planning something with the violent MAGA in the third week? Could be, possibly. Let's see what the Santa Muerte deck can tell us. Spirit can tell us through this deck. Please let us know what's happening with Donald Trump's third week in April. What's happening? What's happening at the White House? What's happening in the world regarding him? What is he planning with the possible zombies? Whoa, this one wanted to jump. 9 of Cups. A ship with treasure in it. So 9 of Cups is about having your wish fulfillment. Does he get his wish fulfillment? This is the 3 of Swords. This is a very complicated picture here. It's one sort of, they look metallic, the skeletons. And that's funny because I was scrying and I got a welder in there, like someone welding. And I thought of lead or, using fire and metal, which is interesting that this came up. Yeah, so it's like getting stabbed in the back in this card. But it's the it's the 3 of Swords. It's a betrayal, getting stabbed in the back by someone you trusted, someone you were working with. So a lot of betrayal going on. Maybe the Trumpsters think he's betrayed them. But that wish fulfillment card is strange. The Hierophant again, and I did shuffle these. I put them back separately and then I shuffle. So something in the government, he feels betrayed. He's trying to control the MAGA still with his lies. Something, I think the 9 of Cups is more about ships than it is about 9 of Cups energy, although there is a heart in that. And then the Lovers. So maybe in the second week, whatever is trying to come out about Zora Ranch, maybe there's a connection there. In the third week, let's see, down at the table. So I definitely think this, the mask guy is like Donald Trump. He's hypnotized the people that love him into complete compliance, and he's trying to do that in the third week, and I think it's because of something coming up with Navy ships, maybe attacking Cuba or something in Iran again. I'll have to do a separate reading on that today. But he gets betrayed. I feel like he's given them the assignment. He's going to try to tell them, I think, that this is good going after Cuba if it's Cuba. We're doing great over in Iran. We've obliterated them. That same old junk he starts to do, but they go along with it. They're like, okay, now we're for, illegal farm wars. Great, we're right with you on that. And the government, some kind of relationship in the government going on that comes during the end of the week, I think, in the third week of April. So let's just take a few clarifiers out. First, on the ship, does this mean him going to war? I hope I'm not shaking the camera because I'm in this chair that's very bouncy. It's a rocking chair, recliner, and it's like, I forget always that I'm like right up against the tripod. I should move it a little away from me. Okay, the first card for the ship comes out. I think this is airstrikes on one of our military ships. That's going to cause a lot of problems. Look, this came out and it came out reversed. I put it up right. Wow. A lot of damage. I think a lot of loss, probably of military. I'm sorry to say that. I don't wish that on our military or civilians or anyone. I don't want them to lose their lives. Yeah, the big struggle here. So I think it's about some kind of ship getting bombed or sunk, and it could be in Iran, it could be in Cuba. Let's ask, is this in Cuba? Because Cuba keeps coming to me. I get a success card. Yeah, I think it's Cuba this time in the third week. Let's make sure I'm getting a yes here with the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, the success. This is in answering my question. So, and then an upright Hierophant. So this is saying yes to me. This is about a ship. It's going to be Donald Trump having to convince people that we're successful. Look at us. We're making so much money. Because that's all he cares about. He doesn't care about people being killed or wounded horribly. Let's see, what else can we look at here? Oh, I just wanted to see what the lovers. I mean, lovers really are about big decisions. So there could be a big decision coming in the third week, but I feel like it's something with relationships because there's this betrayal card here. So wherever he's getting his dark money from, it could be Saudi Arabia or whoever, the oligarchs. I think someone betrays him. Could be the Saudi prince. Yeah, it's all about the money, and they want some kind of change in action, or they want him to do more. But it's a betrayal from them. So they're sending him a money message that if you don't do what we tell you to, we're going to throw you under the bus. We're not supporting this. Show me, is this about relationships with them? What is the lover? Please clarify the lovers card. Judgment came upside down. So, okay, it's not about relationships. It's about money. Yeah, it's about the Knight of Cups is offering, like, we're putting an end to everything here. Judgment reversed. We're putting an end to this gift giving to you. Let's just say that there will be no money for you if you don't do what we say. And it could be coercion into doing something more terrible in Iran. Anything else that I have to look at here? Let's just see with these little cards. We'll just spread them out. They're very hard to shuffle. Can't really shuffle them. Okay, yeah, it's about the coin. So third week is big about the money, perhaps the money they spent. Look, poison came out again. The poison coin. Oh, two wanted to come out. The wish. It's a poison wish. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. And the eye here, sorry, it's upside down, the reversed eye, so it's the evil eye reversed. So he's got some kind of, being cursed, I think. Being cursed. And, we're all cursing him. And the volcano. This third week is going to be a disaster for him. Literally. This one is looking out the pipe. It's a pipe dream. He thinks that he's going to get away with this. I don't see it. Just relating to that metal, I want to just remind you, I saw someone welding, and it looked like welding a stained glass project that I got from the Black Mirror. So you tell me what you think that means if you got something off of that. Let's go to the fourth week. Okay, so let's look at week 4. Got to do it away from the microphone. Week 4, Donald Trump's week 4. What's going on in Washington? In Donald Trump's 4th week of April, show us, Spirit, what's happening. Oh, this looks like quite a nice one. Kathy makes new friends. Oh, aliens. Kathy makes new friends. I'm not sure what that means. We'll have to do a little scrying in the Black Mirror for that one. Kathy makes new friends. So something with aliens in the 4th week. Is that going to be the next distraction? There's aliens attacking us. It could happen with this is the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is an instigator. And then we have, the Emperor. Who's the Queen of Wands? Show me the 4th week for Donald J. Dumpy. Show me the 4th week. Whoa. That one flew out. Ooh. 8 of Wands again. Airstrikes. Some kind of headline news. Could be airstrikes, could be news. And then we get this again. The 9 of Cups. I swear I shuffle these in between. That's why I stopped the camera, so I can actually shuffle. Very interesting. Let me just see. So aliens, the Emperor, the Queen. Could it be something with the UK? When was Charles supposed to come over? Could be something with the UK. I don't know why. I just thought that. I guess because I said Queen. Aliens. But you see, it's all, there's curtains here. So it's all made up. So some kind of illusion again in the 4th week that, yeah, I'm going to make up a big story. Maybe it will be something coming out in the UK. I don't know why I thought that. But let's just talk it through. The Queen of Wands she has great spirit, creativity, enthusiasm for things. So it's like going with the gusto. This again has a Cuban feel to me, like something with Cuba, going for something, not caring, being a total dictator. So this is all together. It's all about him wanting something with a great passion. I think this is Cuba. I think it's again headline news. He goes into attack to get what he wants, to get what satisfies him. With all this gusto, he's going in there. And again, he has to pretend like this needed to be done. And it's really just being a dictator for being a dick. Okay, this is a very strange dark mirror impression I'm getting. I'm actually getting the clairaudience, hearing music, and it's a Jamaican song. It's from, I'm really dating myself, it's from the 1980s, probably 82, and it's a Jamaican song by Sister Nancy. Bum bum. Dun, 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 dun. Um, I'm getting that in my head. So could be something in the Caribbean, something with Cuba, the Caribbean islands, Jamaican, something going on there, some kind of boat again. So maybe something comes out about in the fourth week of April, something comes out about the illegal bombing of those fishing boats. So I want to ask if I'm on the right track with this, because that was a very distinctive scrying and auditory. Okay. Don't listen. Maybe that's just my own head. Five of Cups, a lot of regret around this. This came out again, the Nine of Pentacles. So something about independence, independently wealthy, something about the Caribbean, I think. And then the Five of Pentacles. So could be about health, money, something regarding the Caribbean, and a lot of blood's being spilt, I feel. Again, something with a ship. Maybe something comes out more about Keg's breath in the fourth week. They're really looking into this, but we have here the big show where, we're going to try to hypnotize you that this isn't really happening. Don't believe what you see. Let me look at these cards, see what symbols I get here. Oop, two. A witch's hat. A tooth. I thought toothache when I saw it. So this is some kind of pain. What does the witch's hat mean? Maybe a curse finally goes through. Pain, yeah, fires. I got a lot of fire, the lava week, and okay, something with drinking again. I'm getting strong feeling about Hegseth again, and then a lot of fire here. The candle, fire, candle, chalice, and then the witchcraft. This goes with like witchcraft, like some kind of ritual, some kind of extraction. Ooh, something about girls coming out again. Herb, Sister Nancy. Sister Nancy. She smokes a joint in one hand and a drink in the other and sings, whatever. It's just funny thinking about that. Yeah, so the fourth week, I just feel like there's going to be another attack, this screaming headline news, and then there's some kind of craziness going on, with money, pulling a fast one over people. What else can I look at? Because it's not real cohesive. I mean, it's cohesive with the month of strikes going on, strikes against ships. I'm focusing now on the treasure in the boat and the herb thing. So I feel like it's going to be a Caribbean boat again, saying it's drugs. But I feel like this backfires big time with that regret. This is like the last straw. Something bad is going to happen finally towards Trump, that he doesn't get away with this, or towards Hegseth, that somebody's going to push back on this. Let's just see. Yeah, I think they're going to be referring to the Caribbean killings, the killing the fishermen. Here's that card again. He's going in to take money, to take, and this is like resources. He's going into Cuba to take resources, I feel. Yes, it's about taking resources. This card again. But not being able to spin it. It came out reverse. Not being able to spin this, you know, crazy story he's going to try to spin. It's not happening this time. Not at all. What else? Yeah, people aren't buying it. Does he get in trouble finally? Or does Pete Hegseth get in trouble for this? Is this the final straw? Does somebody bring this up again? You know, we've gone through such major changes that, not that we forgot, it's just, it was, you know, every month one new thing. We're taking over Venezuela, we're taking Cuba, we're taking Iran, we're, you know, taking their oil, taking their leader, all the things. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of upside down cards here. This would be Trump in his, all his money, generational wealth, and now it ain't happening. Somebody does a pushback on him, I feel, in the fourth week. A boat again. So this is moving away from troubled water. I must be holding, no, they're just mixed cards in the deck. This is moving into trouble with the boats. He gets himself in big trouble in the fourth week. I hope he does. And someone is actually shining a spotlight on this. I feel it won't be our FBI, but somebody, I don't know who, is going to present something. I feel they're going to present something that could be really disastrous for them. Yeah, and I'm getting the reverse night. You know, so the lies are gonna, he's gonna try to spin them, but this week it just doesn't work. I think it's just gonna be a very tumultuous month. It's Mars energy here, and you know, that sort of being in attack mode. So prepare yourself for some really, really crazy month this month. Um, just to go over, you saw the house is on fire. This is a lot of craziness, even more so, a lot more damage. Him trying to get out of this, but we see who he is. He's being dragged back in to things he wanted to distance himself from. And then we have, you know, trying to hypnotize people, like trying to present that story as all through this reading here. And, you know, the final story, I don't know if it will be aliens, but it's just about this great illusion. He's still trying to spin it. He's still trying to project strength, but everybody can see the house is on fire in the month, the very fiery month of April, Aries energy. So I hope you all enjoyed the reading. If you stayed this long, please give me a like, hype, all the good things, share the video, and I thank you all for being with me, and it's fun to hang out with you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Have a great day.